What time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Hello and welcome to another week of your show. As far as we know, still the only live show on YouTube from 4 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and still dominating all those real niche categories like the one we are number one in today, which is the number one show that's had 10 different people come in and out of this studio since about noon today. Again, very niche, but still number one. Go team, go. My name is Gary. Welcome to another week, and we have a cam ready for you. The cam everybody's waiting for. The cam that people come to see. That is the Maggie cam. Let's check in with her and look at that. Oh, she's so beautiful. She's had a fun day today. She did a lot of running around. The Maggie cam for our fantastic pals over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer, Mike and Rochelle, and Maggie's beautiful boyfriend, Leroy, always there to help make your day better. If you go after hours or on the weekend, you'll see Kirsten, Shar, or Chris, and they will give you the exact same awesomeness that you come to expect every time you walk in the doors at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Look at her. She's such a happy, happy puppy. Great stuff. So I always want to just leave it on there as long as I can because she's so beautiful. Got a great show for you today. I didn't tell you. We got the Phenom on the ones and twos. Say hello, Phenom. There he is. See that? Literally just a hand. What happened?
I accidentally popped in your frame.
Bro.
Sorry.
Come on. Little, what's it called? Boundaries? Frame boundaries? Very important. We'll get to why she's here right away. We did send an email, Phenom, with some pictures we're going to run here with our next guest. So I'll introduce her and then we can get that all lined up. There's no rush. You know her from the Past Our Bedtime podcast. You know her as the reason I no longer struggle with mental health in regards to social media. She can save you too. That media is Wendy Brooks Media. She is Brooksy!
Yay! I'm here. Happy Monday.
Trying to Brooksy bomb me there again, bro?
I did. You know what? I'm actually a pro photo bomber. I will photo bomb at any chance I get. That's my biggest toxic trait, I think.
Very, very big statement. Before we get into more of your toxic traits, I will say...
That's a good...
It's called a segue.
Yeah,
that's what we use in the biz. To all my fellow fantasy footballers out there who suffered just catastrophic losses over the weekend, I feel you, as we went 0 for 3 again. 2 weeks in a row in our big leagues, so there'll be a lot of movement on the waiver wire. We'll do a little more fantasy football talk a little bit later. I just wanted to say, normally Monday Night Football has a little bit at stake when it comes to fantasy football matches, and if you're like yours truly and nothing going tonight, no matter what, if you got like a defensive player or a defense going, just embrace the loss and move on to next week. That's what we're going to do. How are you?
I'm good. Speaking of fantasy football, Brad...
B-Rad, greatest husband in the world.
He is. And you know what? He knows. I've been around like my dad and other like
fantasy
exes who will be like so obsessed that they like won't pay attention to you during the season.
Well, yeah, there's a reason guys give their partners contracts that say, I will not see you for the next 4 months.
Yeah. So Brad's not that bad, but the other day, he usually opens the door for me when we are going places. And
wow, here we go.
He got out of the car and he was he was looking at his fantasy and forgot about me in the car, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and wait.
No, you didn't.
How long it takes him? It took him so long to go get me. He's looking at his fantasy football.
Brooksy, I'll tell you, 8 months out of the year, you're number one girl. That's 1/3 of a year. 1 quarter?
Yeah. Well, that's the first time we've ever had an issue with it, but it wasn't that bad. I just thought it was so funny. He's
you know what the problem is?
Sorry.
He was probably losing. That's what it was.
Yeah, he's like, I was
trying to figure out how to get out of it.
being a dick and looking at my fantasy football. I was like, it's okay.
I really hope you didn't make him feel bad about that.
Well, he probably felt bad because I sat in the car for forever, but I didn't say anything.
I think it all depends how his team was doing. If he was doing good, then he probably didn't feel that bad.
Yeah, I could have got out of the car to make him not feel bad, but I just wanted to see,
Clearly you had an agenda.
Yeah, keeping him on his toes.
Oh, okay. It's a good
Yeah.
agenda. I'll give it to you.
It's not bad.
So Brixie stops by all the time, as we love just having her here. Her presence is great, even though the Super Smash Bros. Didn't go very well.
I kicked butt.
Today. Yeah,
and
that was
sudden
kind of
death.
a rough run.
Haha, no.
But luckily, to shame you, we do have some new updates from you, from your Facebooks.
This is my other toxic trait.
Yes, and so here's what we're going to do, Phenom. Do you have those? You don't got to put them up yet. They're okay? Okay, so I'm going to read one first, and then you can bring them up as we go, if that's okay. Sound good? All right, let's see how this works. Always trying to expand the horizons here over on your show. So we're going to take you back now, 14 years ago. 14 beautiful years. Brooksy would have been high school, I'm assuming, 2010?
Yeah, I was in grade 10.
Grade 10.
Or
And we like to read
grade
these
11.
status updates, they're called. We like to read them in our Brixie voices. And we got another run. So I'm going to read the first one here, and then we can pop this one out, because there's two on here.
Mm-hmm.
One says, dance tonight, greater than 3.
That's a heart. Okay, now it needs to come up so people know. That's a
There
heart.
it is.
Which side am
Yes.
I on?
The second one's, I love this.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
heart
gonna
back
do
in the
this.
day when they didn't have emojis.
Happy birthday, Thomas. XD, LOL. Ha 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 ha.
The XD is also a laughing face.
Yeah,
So
says you. I'd get that changed pretty quick.
that is the laughing
Okay,
face. Old
now
school.
we're
Before
going to go to
emojis.
Okay.
Because I'm old.
That's not that bad. That's an okay one. This one I'm looking forward to here. The second one. Let's go ahead and pop that up there.
I
Phenom.
shared. This is not my words. I shared somebody else's words.
Oh, okay. So this is like a quote.
Yeah, I shared the quote.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Are we gonna go for that?
It's the
I think
quote
I
one.
think we got. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Kids want to work out. Kind of want to eat
No.
loaded cheese fries.
Wait, you
Kind
said
of
it
want to
wrong.
nap for 5 days. Kind of want to get my life together by 3 on Thursday.
You said kids for some reason. The first word.
Yeah, it's because you're a kid.
Kind of want to work out. Kind of want to eat loaded cheese fries. Kind of
So
want to.
what made you
nap.
think that this would be a good thing to quote on your status?
Well, 7 other people thought the same thing. So
Still doesn't make it good.
actually 8.
It's brutal. Okay,
No.
these ones aren't as.
Okay,
Okay, this is what I
don't you
want. This is
feel-
the one I
okay,
want.
don't you feel that though in your soul that you kind of want to do all those things by Thursday, but you're not going to? We all know
No.
we're both not going to do that.
I don't.
You might eat just the cheese fries, but
Loaded cheese fries? No. Maybe
that's not-
nap. Maybe nap in there.
Anyway,
Either
that
way.
was probably when my life was falling apart, and I was like,
Yeah.
I need to do something with myself.
No, I think that's what it is. This is more like it. Okay. Here we go. You're the sort of soothsaying her. Taking it back 6 years ago now, 2018.
6 years ago. That's not that long ago.
I'm liking
So-
this.
Hopefully, it's appropriate.
All right, I'm going to really Brooksy this one up. Here we go. This is Brooksy's post from 6 years ago on this day. I wish there was some kind of app or service where you could hire someone to take care of you when you're sick. I would get someone to clean my dishes and make me soup. Sad emotionicon, headache emotionicon, sneezy emoticon, sleepy emoticon,
Emoji.
pukey death.
That's when emojis were a thing.
And this is, and you felt like you needed to let the world know.
Yeah, I was really dying. Probably.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I would never post something like that now. And that was only 8 years ago. Things change.
Isn't that nice? Doesn't that feel good? It's called
Yeah.
progress. It's called growth.
The other day I was thinking like, should I bring back statuses and like update people of my my daily life? And I was like, nobody cares. So
Not only that, people would make fun of you like we just did for the last
but
5
the
minutes.
reason why I was thinking it, I was like, we're gonna run out of these and we're gonna need more. So if I start doing it, then we would have more next year to talk about. We could remind ourselves where we're at a year ago.
Or you could just make them up too.
I wish I could see yours. Do you have Facebook? Have you ever looked at yours?
Do you think I've ever done a status?
Were you back in the day when you first got Facebook?
No, I got Facebook when I got forced by my boss.
Oh, well, yeah, you're old. Okay.
Yeah, and then I put my birthday at, it was like November 1st,
And everyone kept on saying
1900s. So it was
happy
like,
birthday to you too on your wrong
remember
birthday.
that? Yeah, and I didn't want any of that shit. And then
So
all
then
of a
you
sudden,
had 2 birthdays, even though you didn't even want one.
yeah, but the one said I was turning 117.
Yeah.
And people were like, happy birthday. It's like, are you kidding me? So I did do a status once to say, it's not my birthday. I'm not 115, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Be better, you know? Like this. Get off. Touch
Honestly,
grass.
I was probably one of those people that was like, happy birthday, Carrie.
It's a nice gesture. I'm not chirping the gesture. It's just get off the computers. Anyways, those are good updates. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Past our bedtime.
Oh, Yes. Fun stuff.
Dropped today. In case you
It
didn't notice on the
did.
banner. By the way, Wednesdays, Bamford & Co. Love that show. Always learning about realty. Check them out. So you got your banner fixed, by the way, and
did.
it says that today is the drop. So has the episode dropped?
Yes, a new episode of Past Their Bedtime has dropped.
Woo!
It is out right now, and we have a very special guest.
Who is it?
Prove it. It's Gary Nickel.
Thank
And
you.
it's called Video Games with Gary.
And we did play the video on Friday when Hardcore, the co-host of the show, was in the house,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of fun talking about it, talking about our video game crushes,
Yeah.
OP weapons. OP means overpowered, in case you're
That's
wondering.
good to know.
I know you
Didn't
probably
know
don't
that.
get gamer talk.
No. We also talked about games that made Gary cry, games
yeah.
that Gary couldn't finish because he's too scared, and just like a couple other things. Some throwbacks of our childhood gaming life. It was really funny. I watched it again today to get
a good
those views
episode.
up there, you know.
Right, what was it
Those
called?
good-
Farming views. Were you farming views?
My own view.
One view at a time.
Yeah. So anyway, you got to watch it. I think you'll giggle.
I think it will be very good. Do you know how I hate watching myself? It's like a real blah for me, but I will suck it up for you in this instance because
Yeah.
you guys were kind enough to invite me on.
I think you'll like my editing too. I edited it a lot.
I do love editing.
Yeah. It's
the
not just us
best.
talking sitting there. It's lots of
Shenanigans.
I
and
did some
pictures and all that
voiceovers
stuff,
and
yeah.
got some pictures of all your crushes and
Samus, what up? What do the kids say? Holla at your boy? Is that how you pick up girls now?
no, they probably say, "Let me rizz you up." That's what they say.
What is that?
Both you guys were like, "Oh."
The young kids did not like. That's how you know that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're supposed to say.
Also,
Scared them right off.
I have this idea, which I don't know if I should be saying here, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Oh,
I
boy.
see this mic here is new. Well, you guys will see it in a little bit.
Mm.
But I had someone say to me that they wish they could hear the audience's reactions or what they're saying because it'll be like quiet and then me and you will like laugh so hard at something somebody said.
It happens a lot here.
Yeah, so I think
does.
it would be fun to have like some kind of mics on some live audiences.
I'm looking at an
someday.
engineer who does not like your idea. Welcome to being Gary. Everything you say to him, he just says no.
Boo.
Yeah.
See?
Then when we chirp you
Here he
guys,
goes.
They can't hear you talking.
right, but like we don't want them to hear us talking. That's the whole point.
Touche. And it just happened right now.
Anyway, he
That's a good example
said
of it.
they don't want to hear us talking.
We don't want them to hear us talking.
We don't want them to hear us talking.
Right.
I'm just kidding. me and LB me and LB have been mimicking each other like 3-year-olds the last 2 times we've seen each other. So
It's very fun. It's very fun to be around.
Touch my shit.
I didn't touch anything of yours. Nobody could hear you say that either. So ha.
We're all a big happy family here on your show over at the Dufferin Avenue Media Network. You want to throw up a little
Saucer?
website? Yeah, let's see what we can find here. If you want to join this amazing family, we have so much fun. If you want to advertise, you got an organization that needs a push, you got an event coming up, just let us know by going to dufferinave.com.
Wah.
All your dreams will come true, just like me squashing this. Look at
Nice.
that.
You do so much on that website. You can even find all of our episodes
Yeah, it's
nicely
pretty cool.
organized, all the different podcasts that are going
Royal
on.
Anders, man. Royal
You can see
Anders
some-
is so good
Yeah, you can see
at
some
doing that stuff.
Photos we've taken and
Yeah, and upcoming shows. We're actually locking down 2 more shows here this week, which I'm very excited for as the family continues to grow.
oh, that's
is
awesome.
cool.
And speaking of that, we were talking about past our bedtime.
Yes.
But if you don't want to search past our bedtime, just open up your Instagram apps and it should be there. If you follow us,
I have
if you
no
want to.
idea what that means. So people can just go to Instagram
On,
and watch you?
on Instagram, I shared it on my post and then
Like
reshared
the
it.
whole episode?
No, I made a clip. I should have sent it in. I made a clip.
You can still send it.
Send it. No, I'll save it for later.
Perfect.
I made 2 clips. I made one clip about your crush and I made another clip about Cora's chin hair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and your
I'm sure she loves that.
she did. She texted me. She's like, love it. And then you were talking about your bald spot on your chin.
I could use some extra chin hairs. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
I see where this is going now.
I actually haven't seen the bald spot yet, so
Well,
I
hide it
almost
very
want you
well.
to like
It's
open it and
mostly it's mostly
expose
a comb
yourself.
over. No, I gotta just stick with what I got. If I don't have my beard, I got nothing,
No. What about your hair?
Yeah, well, that's true. I still got that.
Yeah.
Even then, I got some real bad splitties going on here.
Gary
gonna be
won't
ugly.
let me cut his hair. We should have a vote. Maybe
Wow.
we should. Whoa.
No.
You
Hate
want
it already.
to help a charity?
I knew you were going to go there, and then you can't say no, and that's not fair, especially when it's on the air.
Oh, Noah behind the P's and Q's.
His name's Phenom when he's in the booth. please.
Phenom.
He's just a hand. He's not a human.
He donated his hair.
Yes, he's a beautiful human. I donated my hair like 7 times. And the reason
Prove
I haven't
it.
done it anymore is because it stopped growing.
Oh.
So if I cut it one more time, that's it for me. Then I just got to go bald.
No, some people like their hair will always grow, but it hits a certain length. Like I've been growing my hair since like 2012, and it's never been longer than this. So
Longer than what?
longer than this.
Just want to make sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wait,
So you're saying it might grow then if I cut it?
it might grow more if you at least trim it.
Okay.
Because trimming it's when the dead ends,
Yeah.
they split, so that's why it'll never grow longer. Because it splits and stuff.
Well, why don't the splits grow longer? Then I can have a whole bunch of hair.
Because it's dead there. It's like if you take fire and you put it on and you burn your cut closed.
Cauterize the wound.
Yeah.
LB knows all about that. He's an outdoorsman.
Yeah, he has a knife in his pocket right now, probably.
I think he's just happy to see us, to be honest. But that may just be me. Okay, I want to get back to football here before I let you go, Brooksy, because I know your beautiful husband will be doing some football stuff. Monday Night Football.
Ba, ba, ba.
You going to pick some winners for us?
Dun, 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 dun,
We
dun,
talked
dun, dun.
earlier about my original visions and my dreams of this place, and I've always wanted to be a host of a sports show. I lived that dream for a very brief period as the co-host of the Drew Amanda Sports Show, which was the highlight of my life. And I've slowly been trying to get back there as I love sports, and I want to bring sports to this more as we go forward. So I would love to focus a little bit on what's going on sports-wise tonight.
Fun. I don't know anything about sports.
This
I
is
just
why
love
we
saying
asked you. This is why we asked.
sports.
Sports.
And
Sports
then
are pretty hardcore. It's in the game.
It's in
I can
the
almost
game.
get there. Hold on. This is for my voicing techniques. E, 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 E. Dragon liked it. EA Sports. It's in the game. It's in the game. Can't get it. It's in the game. There it is.
what is it?
It's in the
EA
game.
Sports.
Yeah, get deep.
It's in the game.
That's pretty- You wouldn't not. Oh, yeah, you're definitely not the EA Sports guy, are you?
No.
Okay, here we go. Tonight, Monday Night Football. It's rare, and the reason we're talking about this is because there is 2 games going on, and that is very rare. Although my internet doesn't want to work, so we're going to go this way.
I can't stop watching Ethan suck at this game.
He's so bad at it, eh? Whoa, easy there,
He called me a
cowboy.
nutcracker, which I don't think is that bad.
Okay,
Oh, suck it. I won.
game number 1.
For those that can't hear him, he said, "Suck it, I won."
And you wanted that mixed up. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacksonville in Buffalo. You got the Jaguars taking on the Bills. Brooksy.
Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bills, plural.
Oh,
The Bills.
okay.
Do you like the Buffalo Bills at home or the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road?
Home. They have a 51% advantage.
Wow. Brad's
On
been
home.
teaching you things, hasn't he?
No, I learned that in my sport class actually,
Very sassy.
because I did go to school for sports. I just don't watch them.
Marketing.
Yeah, but you have to take like sport classes, like statistics. And
You know what? I'll give you that because you definitely know way more about lacrosse than I do.
I don't know anything about like the actual game lacrosse.
Well, try being me in the
But
same
like,
situation.
but
and
I
trying
know
to talk
about like how
it.
to, like yeah. Anyway,
Point is,
there's
you're
some
taking the
things
Bills.
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you like the Bills. That's a good take. Jacksonville is very, very bad at football. And it's probably going to be pretty ugly. Go Bills. And then at 6:15, again, 2 Monday Nighters, you got the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Quarterback by rookie, 2nd overall pick from LSU, Jaden Daniels. The dude's a stud.
Okay.
In Cincinnati to take on the Bengals.
Ooh, the Bengals.
I didn't even have to sell them to you, hey?
Yeah, the Bengals.
Like-
The Bengals is the best name ever. The Bengals. I like the Bengals.
I believe the Bengals sang
Bagels?
Walk Like an Egyptian.
Walk like an Egyptian.
That's the Bengals. So these are the Bengals.
The
not
Bengals.
the Bengals.
But aren't Bengals like something
Bengal
that...
Tigers.
Oh,
They're also
tiger.
hoops that you wear on your wrist.
Bangles. Yes, thank you. I could. What?
Dragon wants a bagel.
Bagel.
Better call craft services, bud.
You should try the new jalapeno and cheese
Thank you.
cream cheese. It's so good.
It is true. So you like Cincinnati. You like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase to run all over the Commanders.
If
In
Cincinnati
So
is
you're going
the
home
Bengals,
team, hey?
Yes,
Interesting.
home and home.
There you go. So if I've learned anything about first-time pick makers, there's going to be 2 big upsets tonight. If you want to ride the Brooksy Bangs train and go ahead and take the
I'll
away
put
teams,
money on it.
maybe we will. I got, I think, $10 in my account.
No, I'm thinking like a toonie.
Well, I wouldn't bet at all. That's like my budget for the week. It's my gambling budget.
Okay.
There's a reason that all the picks that we make are usually in between 100 to 150 to 1 odds because we only bet $2 or $3 at a time.
Mm.
But every couple months we hit one, and it's a lot of fun. So there you have it. That is Monday Night Football. 2 games for you to enjoy tonight. One more for you. Blades kicking things off. Go, Blades, go!
Yeah, they like kicked butt last night, was it?
Yeah, Croker was out there, my main man.
Yeah.
Mr. Creator
I think it
Rate
was,
himself. Hello, Croker. We love you, mister. He's so sick, eh?
I think it was 9-3.
Blades looking way better than people are
Yeah.
expecting already, and this has sort of been the idea coming in as they sold the farm for the Mem Cup run last year. A lot of times the rebuild starts next year. Not so much so far. So Blades off to a great start. Very excited for that. We also got Toppers going on. We got Huskies. A lot of sports. The reason I'm bringing this up, my dad and I were talking about this, in that we have
Speaking
a
of
whole
dads.
bunch of sports all over the place coming in. He says, son, I feel like you have been lacking on your sports talk lately. I was like, you know what, Dad? I think you're right. We're getting so engulfed and encompassed with all this other stuff that we're sort of leaving that in the back burner. And I said, it's also because there wasn't much going on. Why are you smiling like that?
Your
Because
favorite man's here. That's why I said speaking of dads.
the greatest dad. God, I love that's 2 shows in a row we've had. Oh man, see, remember how I got nervous last time when he showed
You
up? I got nervous
instantly are
again.
like,
I
oh,
know.
Weird about it.
So I told Dad, there wasn't much for sports going on. It was like the down season. So now that football's back and hockey's back, we're going to get more into that again. And we're sort of shaping the new Dude podcast, the new and improved.
Would you go to a Blaze game? You feeling more ready? If you go at the beginning, they're not as busy.
Do you know what I like to go? I like to go when you have the booth or the box.
Well, I can't do that, but
You can't pull any strings for a box? What
not
if we-
anymore. If I work
well,
there,
hold on.
maybe.
What if you and I together talked to Amelia and said, girl, how many boxes rolling up? She
Amelia!
loves us. We love Amelia. Amelia, if you watch this, we love you. I haven't mean to reach out. We got to talk to the Feds and see if they want to do some advertising.
Sure. Fez,
You
come
and
on
I,
board.
We'll talk
We'll
to them.
start a whole show just on the Rush and the Blades.
We'll
and
put
the
a
Berries.
pitch together. Let's put a pitch together.
Pitch.
Hey, that's like when I was with Ness, socking dingers off the side.
Yeah, he was almost beating me.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Brixie, you've been great. Great job talking sports. Great job making fun of yourself. We really appreciate that around here. I feel like we're going to have to send you over to get one more of those cookies before Big B decides to just Tasmanian devil that shit and just take it to the house.
No, Gary just got 2 of my favorite candies, which is M&M's and Live
stocked up.
Wires, and my tummy hurts.
Do you know what we
So-
did, though? We screwed it up. We went overboard on all the candy, and we lacked in the fridge. So now it's just a fridge full of energy drinks and candies everywhere.
I know, I can't.
It's like a little kid's dream in here.
I know, I had the last root beer, so.
Good
All
old
right.
stuff. Hey, thank you again from the Past Our Bedtime podcast from Wendy Brooks Media. Her name is Brooksy.
Woo!
Woo!
Bye.
Wow, they're not clapping for it. Who'd you piss off today? There's one. There's one.
LB.
Definitely LB. It's a fun show. We got a bunch of people coming in and rolling through here as we continue to make our way. We're going to have to make some more room in the green room, I believe, as we have some special guests coming in for a little meeting after, which is very exciting. For now, what I'm going to do is look at this camera and talk as the Phenom crawled his little Addams Family handout, jumped on the table, and he's slowly adjusting, getting us ready for our next guest. These dudes have been on fire, absolutely on fire. One of them has put together a video that is probably over 1 million views by now, I believe. No? Oh, should I? Well, still, a whole like 500, I'm going to say 750,000. There it is. How many days? 3 days. No big deal. He's a magician when it comes to making videos. And we love him so much. He's also the co-host of one of everybody's favorite shows on the network. The other half of this show is the face that has built the place. He is the rider insider. He is the guy who puts all the glue on all the equipment and makes it work. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the viewing room! Woo! Jeez, and the crowd goes mild again. That's 2 now.
And who did I piss off this time?
Unbelievable. What's that?
Who did I piss off this time?
No kidding. Boy, oh boy. Represent.
Yeah, Kitty Town.
Hello, Kitty Town.
Okay, Wendy likes to sit super low to the ground.
Get
and
comfy. Stay a while.
I got my long legs, so I'm gonna like.
So handsome. I was talking to Dad today. I was saying how my back is killing me. It's like, man, I haven't felt this back pain since I worked at the old place and did the whole like full shift in a chair thing. And I said, I finally reached that again. So we're gonna have to look into some ergonomic chairs.
Yeah. Anyone
Gotta
wants
take-
to sponsor us?
Yeah, if you make ergonomic chairs, we got a bunch of guys that want to sit in them. That's the
It's weird when you did 8-hour days watching YouTube.
Right?
that
No, it wasn't
was
even
fine.
that. Fantasy football, like fantasy sports, anything but. But
And
it's
the
just the
second-
sitting as a whole, right?
The second you add talking to sitting, you're just like, it's this new area of pain. It just caused a lot of problems with us.
Pushes down to my lowers. You guys had one of the coolest interviews I've ever seen in my life, and that includes my half my life on the other side doing stuff. I've interviewed all sorts of people, and you know I hate talking about myself, but I don't want to sell this lightly. Carlos Santana I talked to, George Thorogood, I talked to all these people, amazing musicians, and I've been around all these interviews. I was so sucked in with your guys' talk with Doug. Tell me a little bit how awesome that was.
Good. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, it gives us a whole new level of credibility too when we're
Absolutely.
talking. When we've been reviewing films now for, I don't know, 10 episodes. I don't know how many we've got.
You're rolling.
We haven't quite released that many, but we've got some in the pipe. But
Oh, I was gonna say
we're
we need
getting into a
to-
rhythm, and now we get to talk to the director of one. That's pretty special.
Set it up. Set up who he is and why he's important.
Well, first of all, I was gonna say for 10 episodes, I thought we should like bake a cake or something. So I hope we're not quite there yet, because I think it would be awesome to like a 10
I
episode.
think,
salad,
I think we
baby.
are. I think we are.
wow.
That's like
'cause
100 for a live show.
Kitty Town will be releasing tomorrow, and that'll be 8. 8. That'll be episode 8. But I think we have more than that in the pipe.
Well, we might be able to fast track one, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
Doug is a very special man. He directed Kitty Town.
Yes.
He's just an incredible dude, and I think, like Adam said, it's so helpful, and it gives us credibility to have the director of a film be there in the room with us, right? Like, we get to learn more about behind the scenes. We get to learn more about the process. It makes some of the questions or criticisms or things that we liked, shed some more light on those things, right? And
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
I think it's beneficial for everyone, right? I think.
And
Well,
he is
also
such,
when we're watching, like, we're looking at these films and we're like, oh, I wonder if they just decided to do that this way, or well, maybe they had to do it because of this reason, whatever. But it's like, well, why did you do that? Let's
he
ask
answered
him,
them.
right?
And lots
You
of
know?
times too, it was the reason that you guys said, which was
Wow.
again vilifying what was going on, which is so cool to me.
Yeah.
It allows us to be definitive, and I think that's really important.
Yes.
And that's something we've talked about before in our show, especially where we get to tell the audience exactly what we're thinking, and stand on that point, and we don't have to sit here and umming and ahhing and guessing. Right? It gives us credibility, and it was an awesome interview. And I think if we get to do more of that throughout certain episodes, I think that's going to continue to give our show some awesome credibility.
Big time. And it always gets lost to me. And I keep looking over at this guy over here because I'm sure he's in the same boat way more than I am. But for an 18 and 19-year-old kid to be able to do the stuff that you guys are doing isn't normal. And so every time you guys do stuff like, oh, yeah, we're going to bring the director on real quick for a quick interview from this movie. It's like, okay. It's just you routinely do these things that just blow my mind. It's like when I was your age, all I was doing was drinking and smoking. But this guy right here, that's what we did. So
Well-
it's a lot different when it goes like this. As well, I do want to say Doug, who we met at the Ganbate Anime Convention. One of the nicest dudes you will ever meet, ever. Like, just instantly, he was so welcoming and so warm, and it was so cool. And also, shout out to the Ganbate. That's where I got my adult dragon. Go with my adult dragon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll keep continuing to try and get directors. We're doing our Batman
Is
episode here
there a
soon.
lot? Is there a lot of directors in the province?
Yeah, for sure, and becoming
Well,
more.
I'm gonna say-
yes, it's becoming more.
Yes, there's a lot of directors in the province, but not the films that we have been doing. So I think
Okay,
that's the thing
gotcha.
is that we want to take it and
Yeah.
do more of those local, more indie films, because a lot of those I think that's where we can really improve the industry and have an impact. Like, you know, reviewing a film that has been out for 70 years and been reviewed by 10 times that many people.
Yeah.
It's like it's
been done.
fun,
It's
but
been
it's
done.
not anything special, right? But if we can, you know, bring light to some of these really neat indie films and something that maybe nobody's ever heard of before, and they hear our review and like, oh, that sounds cool, I'm gonna go watch that. You know, then that's
it. And make no mistake, you guys have put in the legwork as well. Like, you're going to Coliseum Presents with Aaron and the team over there, and you're getting out there and you're putting your name out there.
yeah, but that's not very hard legwork.
Well,
It's going to movies. We're doing that anyway. so
here's,
it's
boys,
not-
you're going to learn this. You're going to learn this very soon if you haven't already. A lot of this job, and I mean this as in this place and everything that sort of comes with it, is making it look like it's work, because 95% of it is so much fun.
It's a great
It's so much
job.
fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of the time it's selling people that it's work when you're actually doing something you love.
Well, and I think too, there's so many passionate people in the province who want to make stuff or are making stuff that it's going to be really easy for us to get in contact with people like Doug, who can give us gold essentially in what we want is, and we want the passion, we want the creativity, and we want to learn from that. You know, we're about to do our Batman episode.
Yeah.
1989.
That-
and
okay. I just want to get in on this because it is the greatest Batman film of all time. No matter what anyone says. I know Dark Knights and this and that.
Well,
you
we're
know,
going to
all
talk
that.
about that because.
But as a guy who grew up in the 80s, was it 89 that came out?
89. Yeah.
And from that point, Michael Keaton was the only Batman in my life, and that will never change. Jack Nicholson, the only Joker. Vicky Vale, Vicky Vale, the hottest babe of all time. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. This movie changed everything. Like when it came out, we had the collector items that we got from McDonald's. We had all the stuff that came with our first Batman movie. Now it's been done so many times, including putting nipples on their outfits. Like, it's just been so.
George
over this.
Clooney's nipples were the best Batman nipples, and you can't say otherwise.
I just can't believe they thought that was a selling point.
Well, I think it was
This
great.
movie, the suits have nipples. Come check this
I
one
will
out.
agree with you that Jack Nicholson
he's
was
so good.
was a fantastic Joker.
He's the second
He's
best
the
Joker.
second best though.
Or-
Joaquin Phoenix is the best Joker.
What about Heath Ledger?
Heath Ledger's the
Oh,
best
that's-
Joker. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Heath
Heath-
Ledger's
no.
Joaquin was the worst, wasn't he? He was like the
No.
Birds
No.
of Prey
Most-
bad guy.
He won an Oscar for it.
No, he was.
That was Jared Leto.
Yeah, yeah,
that-
he was the
he
worst.
was basic.
get rid of
Joaquin
that
Phoenix
guy.
was basically the one of the ones that.
Oh
like,
yeah,
just,
he's
like-
the one that's coming out with the new musical Joker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotcha.
but
Here's the thing. They're all good for different reasons, and I think it takes a lot of skill as an actor to play Joker. We'll talk about that in our episode today. I don't think Jack Nicholson is the best Joker.
What about quotability? Because I quote that
Quotability.
Jack Nicholson. Have you ever danced with
Heath
the devil in
Ledger.
the pale
Heath
moonlight?
Ledger.
that's a good one.
But as
Come
well,
on, why
Heath
so
Ledger.
serious? Come on.
Why so serious? As
Like-
well as I'm like a dog chasing a car. Remember that one? He's like, I don't know what I would do if I ever caught it. It's a really good line, talking about how insane he is. When he's like burning all the money. Like, there's a lot of really good lines there too. I hear you. I'm from a time where that was our Batman.
And truthfully here, I reached out to Tim Burton
Yes.
for a comment and to
Yes.
come on the episode and talk about
What
today.
did, what did Tim Burton have to say?
Yes.
Well, we're about to record in about 30 minutes here, and I haven't heard anything back, so hopefully his plane landed. And if not, I'm very sorry, guys. We tried.
That's fair.
Um,
But keeping that in mind too, like Batman Returns was also a Tim Burton joint, which was also very good. Oswald Cobblepot. We got Danny DeVito as Oswald Cobblepot. Well, it was great.
You know, Tim Burton wasn't going to be the one to make it. Warner Bros. Didn't want to trust Tim Burton to make the Batman movie.
Yeah.
Until Beetlejuice, really. And they weren't going to let Michael Keaton play
Yeah.
Batman. And then all of a sudden, Beetlejuice came out, and Tim Burton was a good dude.
What's that guy's name? The old one from the '60s, the Adam West one.
Oh,
It's
I
like
don't
a
even-
Rodrigo something or other. What the heck is his
Caesar?
name? Caesar. Yes, it's Caesar something, not Milan. Caesar
Romero.
Romero. He is
Um,
considered as one of the original first Jokers
Yeah. Well,
from the '60s Batman, when they were all hip and cool.
I think the Michael Keaton Batmans are revolutionary for their own
So good.
reason. We're going to talk about it today. I do find them a little corny.
Yeah.
But
That
again,
was part of
it's
it.
a comic book movie,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the first Batman movie, but it definitely was one of the, I would say, genre-defining superhero films that really blew up in the box office. And we're going to talk about that.
But it showed you
the
can
show.
do big budget superhero movies.
It broke
really.
the box office record that year. The record was set a week prior with Ghostbusters 2, but again, that's something we'll talk about on our show.
That was
And
a
you can
hell of a
see-
run for
see
movies, I think,
more
right?
of that
At that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the video game spin-offs, like the Batman
Yeah.
video game. I've watched my main man Arcus over on Twitch speedrun that bad boy numerous times.
Lego Batman will always have a special place in my heart because somehow they made a Lego game violent.
It's tough to do. I like to think that's what you do in your downtime when you're building your Death Stars and stuff. You get violent and have your Lego guys fight each other, try to bring balance to the force.
Yeah, I did my fair share of like banging plastic figures together.
Have you ever broken any of your Lego figures?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like I had like little cracked arm
I
pieces.
can see you, but you like to
try.
party.
I
This
try and
guy.
keep them like nice. Like when I was a kid, here's the thing. Like if I could go back like 15 years, a lot of people are like, you know, I would have like forced my younger self to not like ever touch those things and let them like
Never
sit
have
in a
fun with
plastic
anything,
case
yeah.
and like develop. Knowing now what some of my Lego sets and figures and stuff that I like to collect are worth, I wouldn't do that. You know what? I had so much fun as a kid with Lego, and I still enjoy it to this day. I would never ever tell myself to do that because genuinely, like, why would I jeopardize so much fun just to like have a couple more dollars?
Are you trying to tell me you can't put a price on happiness?
No, you can definitely
put a price on
tag
happiness.
Yeah.
So let me rephrase that. Are you saying you can't put a price on your Lego happiness?
Yeah.
Well, Lego sure does put a price on it.
They do. Yeah, that's for
But
sure.
I'm pretty happy. So
What are you currently building right now?
I'm building the UCS AT-AT because I decided that I didn't want to have a paycheck this month, and I just like paid my rent and was like, okay, I can make it work, I guess. And
Good for you.
And-
It's all about passions, man. You got to have your passions, right?
no, exactly, you got to do some stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
Once in a while, and I worked a lot this summer, and I was like, you know what? Coming out of summer, it'll be winter.
Treat yourself,
Which
man.
feels weird to say because it's literally getting cold now, and it's gonna snow in a month. But like,
Thanks for telling us that.
yeah, well, I know it
We
always
should- we
it
should
always
put,
snows in
uh,
October. Everyone knows this.
We
right?
should
And
put
it's always-
seasonal change in our no-no list with politics and religion. We should get a big board that just says none of this shit.
I'm excited for winter.
You would be.
I like winter. Winter's my
guys are
favorite
crazy.
season.
You know what?
I
actually-
hate being hot, right?
Yeah, me
you know,
too.
Like I am like a warm-blooded person, and you cannot get, you can't cool off when it's hot. Like if you're outside, you have to
Lake.
go inside to cool off.
Yeah.
But if you are outside and it's cold, all you have to do is just move, and then you can warm, right? So it's easier to
to
warm
move
up.
a lot to warm up.
Not really.
We're not all
Anything-
young like you.
Well,
Dude still has
that doesn't
circulation.
invalidate my
Yeah.
opinion.
That's fair. No, I'll give you that.
No, summer's great though. I feel like summer's way better than
I
winter,
don't
but winter's
dislike
good.
summer, but I
Winter's good.
prefer winter.
There's I figure it falls down to the simplest formula of bugs, hot, gross, and just cold.
Like a water
Like those
buffalo.
three and the cold, and that's the one sort of counts as three. So pick your poison. No, you gonna say something funny?
Fall is the best.
He's a fall guy.
I'm a fall guy. You know what? The
I
smell,
will say fall isn't a bad blend.
the sweet smell of fall. There's less wasps.
Yeah, those wasps,
You know,
man.
you can still go swimming if you're okay being a little cold.
a little bit.
Out in
long
the
as you're
sun-
moving.
sunny days, and everything smells good. Everything looks great.
yeah.
The
I will say
sounds,
fall-
everything's almost quieter and muffled with leaves and stuff, and that's just like cool.
Fall
I don't know.
fall is really awesome for photo shoots too.
Exactly.
Like summer
Fall looks good.
Summer is good, but like you get those fall colors in like a photo shoot, like you can do some really nice things.
And everyone's excited because we got like Thanksgiving,
Yes, sir.
right? We
Football.
got Black Friday. Everyone loves Black Friday. Football's going full like swing.
Yep.
You know, we got Halloween. People getting gearing up for that. And then people are like,
We
I
gotta
know
do a
some
special
people-
I
Halloween
was just
episode.
gonna say,
Yeah.
boys, we got to plan our spooktacular.
And you know what? Some people already set up their Christmas stuff for snowfall. I had a buddy whose family's like Montreux was first snowfall. We set up all the Christmas stuff. September 13th one year.
That
I
would have
forget,
been
probably,
brutal last
Probably
year.
like 4 or 5 years ago. They had older stuff. September.
And just kept it up the whole way.
They
Yeah,
kept
but
it up.
last year
like,
we didn't get
like
snow till
January.
like December.
It was late.
Yeah, I know. So that's
they
what
probably
that's their
They were
family-
losing their minds.
That's
Yeah.
their family mantra, and it's I don't know. People are already planning for Christmas and getting that stuff ready, and I don't know. I think there's a lot of things for people to look forward to this kind of time of the year.
I remember I used to send my Christmas list to my parents at like midsummer sometimes.
I did it like December
December
26th. Yeah, Boxing Day. I was like looking at the deals in the catalog, Sears catalog.
I have just confirmed your list arrives in a scroll, and your dad unwinds it and it goes all the way down to the
Do you
floor. and just
remember those
shakes his
Sears
head
cat like the little
"What?"
book, and you'd go through and circle every single thing? Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
so happy you guys still got to do that. We did that growing up.
Yeah.
like that was tradition.
That doesn't
Yeah.
happen anymore.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think it
Now it's all
happens.
digital.
I just got a phone book in the mail.
Yeah.
What
Well,
the
but like
hell
the
is
phone
that?
book, the phone book is like this.
Yeah.
Like even when I was little, I
What the
remember them being
hell?
like that
Yeah,
thick,
we
and
still
now
have
they're
we still have the last phone book we have, and it's like taller than that.
Yeah, right?
And I'm
It's
like,
so weird just to see a phone book.
every year
Awesome.
it shrinks by half.
All right, we're gonna make our classy move as we stick to the traditional talk format that media likes to use. You're watching your show. Welcome to it. Hanging out with our best buddies from the viewing room, co-hosts Dragon and LB, as we continue to talk about all sorts of things. Great reset, right? Resets are very important, guys. Don't forget.
I lost my
Always
train
let the
of thought.
people know.
I don't know what we're talking
That's
about.
okay. I'm going to bring you right back here
Reset my brain.
because you were flying a drone, young man,
Yeah.
the other day, and
You bought yourself Lego. I bought myself a drone.
You're
we
getting
both
your-
treated ourselves.
all I'm hearing is these guys are getting paid way too much. When this place goes under, at least they'll have their toys.
We're not getting paid. We're not getting paid too much. We just don't have any money left.
Here's the deal. Here's what it's going to be, boys. We're going to have to sell the drone, sell the Lego, and I'll sell the tattoo thing.
Right.
And then we'll be good.
the day I sell my Lego is the day
Yeah,
I'm done
touche.
with life.
No, it's like Uncle Brando's magic card collection. It's just like a nest egg, eh?
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah.
investment into your future. This
Not
drone thing.
anymore.
We'll talk to him about that. That can't be true with all the new banned magic cards list coming out. Your drone flying. I'm sitting here right now across from a guy who has a beautiful realtor wife, and we want to get more involved with the realty side of the drone.
His wife is beautiful.
my realtor wife is gorgeous, man.
I'm looking if there's any others. No, there's just one here. I just want to make sure. What kind of dynamics can you bring to a realtor when it comes to drone and flying and getting that footage? What do you bring to the table with all that cool stuff you got? The future, if you will.
Well, I mean, it's just another angle that's a lot different than what you would normally get. I mean, you normally have your eye level just taken on your phone or camera pictures, but with the drones you can like just a 30-second montage. You got some really nice moving shots. You can see the area that it's in. Yeah,
you did the house here, and it's freaking incredible.
And we're not going up that high even, and you can just see the streets. You can see the parks. You can see like the trees. You can see the whole.
So it's not just the
your
home,
whole yard,
the
is
neighborhood.
right? And
Yeah.
and then you can. It's not just like you're trying to figure out from like a picture, well, how big is this actually? But if you can see it from above, you have a much better idea of how the whole thing is.
Totally.
You can also see if the roof is in good condition. too,
Hey, how
know?
those shingles looking? We'll let
Yeah,
you know.
And at the end of the day, it's
And
unique.
Hammer Time Roofing if they're
Hey, yeah, shout out to Kev over at Habitat.
He's too smooth with it. But it really is unique, right? You get
Yeah.
to see the land and the property, and I think it's great for acreage because
And that's
Yeah,
what I was
that's
just
the other
thinking.
thing.
There's a lot of acreage sales going on
Yeah.
out there.
And then not just real estate too, like like for like commercials and advertising, like it's not expensive at all to do, and it adds a whole other, like you throw couple drone shots in, and it just takes the whole thing to another level of professionalism. Like it just looks more professional.
If only you had a website we could plug right now.
abvideo.ca.
What? No way. You probably made that website too, hey?
I did, yeah.
Oh, don't tell Real Andy. He's our website guy. I'm sure he'll probably be like, good job.
Wix.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was Wix. Thank you to Wix and your prefab templates.
Is Wix a teacher, former teacher?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Wix sounds like a drug dealer now. The second I see that, Wix is not doing something legal. That's the vibe I get.
I think it's a type of basket, actually.
A wicker basket?
Oh.
Could be.
I'm here
Either
all
way.
week. Thank you.
Okay, so we got drone talk, we got viewing room talk. What's coming up down the line? Do you have anything exciting? Maybe a new set idea you guys are working on, or
Yeah, we're looking at a new set, not just for our show. Like the idea of the second one is it's a little more intimate setting, but customizable. You can change the backgrounds and whatnot, and if you have for just provide more variety for our shows and make it look nicer.
And I've also had some interest from our new shows coming in that might want to use that sort of two-person dynamic, a little more
Yeah.
intimate, bring it in, do all that sort of thing, which is very cool as well. Why are you pointing at him?
Viewing room new set. We might get something in there.
Well, that's what
That's
you
what we were just
said.
talking
Yeah.
about. But it's not just for viewing room.
Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you.
and I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Well, the other alternative was we were going to ask to borrow a theater space. That
Yeah,
would be
we
cool.
we have thought about doing maybe some like shows in the theater and.
Could you
or
imagine
some,
doing a live viewing room?
We've
at
thought, like a
Coliseum
live Coliseum
Presents?
events or something, or could be good.
This is good. I do enjoy how, because a lot of the times I get sort of weighed down in here because I'm sort of supposed to be overseeing all the stuff that happens. And when I'm involved with all these different shows that we got, it's hard to, put your time in appropriately to each one and give it, everything you got type of thing. But you guys are so good at just focusing on your show. And I was telling Network Ryan, it's crazy how, you guys are the ones stepping up and pushing the limits of what a show can be around here. And it's sort of like trailblazing in that you're asking for this stuff and you're wanting to do this and you're wanting to promote stuff. And it's really nice to have someone driving that ship so we can all look at it and say, that's how it should be done. So that's just a little tip of the cap to you guys for what you're doing.
Thank you.
We enjoy it.
It's
fun.
been a lot of fun, and it's way easier to do something like that when you're passionate about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we didn't like movies as much and creating things and talking about things, like the show would be nothing really. But it makes it a lot easier for us to start every day off and come up with movies and stuff, or go 3 showings a week or do whatever.
Yeah.
And
He
just
said
yap
a
about
lot.
it.
We saw Moulin Rouge last week, and
That
then
was a-
Batman on the weekend,
Moulin
and
Rouge
it was
awesome.
it was a good week for movies.
So let's before we've got a couple more minutes here before we wrap up, hanging out with the boys from the viewing room. You also know them as producers of this very show, LB and Dragon. I want to get back to Kitty Town just a little bit because Doug was so good when he was on with you guys. Like a lot of times when people think about directors and people think about big names and important people, it gets sort of lost that, they'll probably have an ego, they'll probably have a little bit of like some sass, or maybe they won't give you the time of day. Like he sat down right in between both of you guys, right where you're sitting now. And like, it was like all 3 of you guys were veteran directors in the biz. Like there was no sort of like looking down on you. There was no, like you guys were equals on that stage. And I felt like that was so cool to see that you climbed up to that point already. But maybe give us a little bit of an idea about how that relationship has come about with Doug.
Well, I was faking it with Adam, but with Doug,
Not just
No
here either.
chemistry at all here. It's all fake.
I've known Doug a while. Obviously he works at Reyes, and is
Yeah,
one
so
of,
what's
like,
his position there?
He's like one of the co-owners of Reyes.
So
yeah.
he
And so I've known Doug for just over a year now, and he's
And Reyes stands for?
Recording Arts Institute of Saskatoon.
Thank you.
And that's where I went to school, and he's a great guy. Very passionate about making movies and stuff, and obviously he runs a film school. And yeah, he's excellent at what he does, and he says he doesn't do a lot of interviews, but I find that hard to believe because he was
so
pretty
good.
dang good at it when
Yeah.
we were
You
talking about it up here.
you always know it's going to be a really good interview when the interviewee asks if we can swear. That's when
Well,
I
that's
said,
how you
okay,
know he's
now we're getting
comfortable,
it.
right?
Well, that's what I
Like-
mean, because
and-
you're not
and-
putting it on. It's real.
And yeah, like I also felt with him, like a lot of the interviews you see on online and on TV and whatnot. Like I feel like a lot of the time they're pretty like surface of like it's like the cliched sports interviewer at halftime. It's like, what do you guys got to do? Yeah, we just we got to go out there, we got to win, we got to do what coach says, we got to play super hard, and it's
Pucks
like
in deep.
you get absolutely nothing out of it. Like they told you
Useless.
absolutely nothing.
I honestly don't understand how they still run those.
Right. And I mean, it makes sense. They're not going to tell you their game plan, but it's like the same thing. But when he sat down, like it was like he actually answered our questions. He had like good information, and like we learned something. It wasn't just
I learned a bunch.
Right.
That's
Like
the crazy
it
as a
wasn't.
viewer. Yeah.
It wasn't just kind of your stereotypical answers and
Yeah.
questions.
He wanted to be here. You can
Yeah.
tell he wanted to be here.
Right.
A lot of times people come in, well, not to this place so much because this place is magical and everyone loves being here. But like other places I've been, people will sit down and right away they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So I would literally do an interview. Someone would come in and I'd sit down like, all right, what do you want to talk about? Oh, whatever. Okay, well, it's like anything you want to hit home? Well, not really. Then I'd just be like, okay, knowing full well this is where it's going to go. So I'd be like, hey, this is the person from this thing. When's this coming up? This time. Okay, thanks. And I'd end it right there.
Yeah.
Because like you're not going to get anything from them that could contribute in any way to what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And here's the exact opposite of that. It was
Well,
so
when you've been
freaking
working on a
cool.
project for like
6
6
years, you
years,
said?
I
Yeah.
think 2018 is when it really got
crazy.
when they really got going on it. I mean, that's a passion project right
It's
there.
your baby.
And so you want to do everything you can to make it do well.
Yeah, and I also noticed a lot of the things that you guys had said in your episode before you talked to Doug was basically him confirming all those things that you had said about it, like your interpretation of the film and the characters and all that. And he was just like, yeah, like that's right, that's what we saw, right down to the possibility of another feature, possibly, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
And even if we're wrong about predictions or stuff like that, what's better than hearing that from the mouth of the director?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
learn the best, and it's like you get to hear what a genuine thought process was in the making of it. And Doug deserves extra credit because I showed up late and I told him it's only gonna be like 20 minutes and you'll be in and out. And then an hour later, he was still here, and I was like, you know what?
You apologize
This is-
so much.
this is where we're at. But he had a good time, and he would come back and do it again. And so I was like, that's good. He gave us,
And that's one of
lots of
those
time.
connections you want to use, right? Because that's like a guy really involved with a career you're wanting to get into.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully we can talk to even more of the cast or crew of Kitty Town in a future date, especially as they have more screenings and go to
Yeah.
more festivals.
Sounds like there might be one down in Regina here
Yeah, he
in
was
a little
mentioning
while.
that.
So
Trying to set up.
Yeah.
Are there
if
any
you're in
more?
Regina, you might be able to go see ticket. So go see it.
Any way for us to see in town here at all? Like, is it
There's no screenings
Okay.
they have scheduled yet,
Yeah.
I
yes,
believe.
that's
but
what he. I just
Yet.
want to make sure
Yet.
I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, but we will keep people up to date and stuff on our Patreon or other places on the websites, and
Patreon.
we'll make it work. But
Yeah.
otherwise, tomorrow morning when you wake up, there's going to be a nice episode of the viewing room waiting for you. And
Very
welcome
excited.
to Kitty Town.
Woo! It's a great shirt too.
Thank you. Yeah, and Doug was generous enough to give me a shirt.
get that?
And
Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Welcome to Kitty Town.
it's pretty awesome.
So we talk about the actual movie for a bit while we wrap up. We got like
We can
3 or 4
yeah,
minutes.
for sure.
So, a post-apocalyptic
Comedy.
comedy, yes. And he had mentioned about how, the trope, am I saying that right? The idea of that has been done numerous times, like Shaun of the Dead and all that, we get it, and like Zombieland. But he wanted to choose that route to go. And then he came across his budget. And that's sort of what I think the main sort of story of this whole thing is that he put, what was the budget? 30?
30.
35,000 in the end. They shot it on 15, and they didn't get
That
the
was it,
extra 20
yes.
until after they'd shot the whole thing.
And he went on to tell us about all the ways that worked into the decision making of the way the scenes were built and all that stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. But maybe give us that synopsis again of what's going down in Kitty Town.
Well,
I know it's
there's-
not right in front of you, but
No, it's okay. I can just riff this one. There's this thing called sludge butt going around.
The Miracle GMO.
Yeah, it's basically, they tried
Sludge
to
butt.
make food and stuff like, what would be the term, perfect and natural, and end up killing everything.
Yeah.
Right? And unnatural, I guess. And
Yeah.
so Miracle GMO that turned evil, and now people are basically shitting themselves to death.
nice.
Which
Great
is a
premise.
Crazy thing to say.
Love that premise.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like
so
That's where the first
Sludge
bit of
Butt a
comedy
lot.
comes in.
Yeah.
And so we follow Vern, who's kind of alone and sad on his adventure to maybe survive and find a new purpose in this life, where we later learn that he might be suffering from a bit of sludge butt
A
himself.
little bout.
And then he meets Vern, who's kind of like...
Ted.
Or Ted. He meets Ted. Sorry, Vern meets Ted.
Yeah.
And Ted's kind of like not anyone who you'd expect to find in Apocalypse at all. He's like super happy, go lucky, doesn't like really care about
Yeah.
anything really. And he wants to be friends like immediately with Vern, but Vern's kind of trying to help him grasp the concept of you can't trust people in this day and age. And so they go on a quest to find Kitty Town, which is supposedly a shelter.
That's the worst spot for that alarm to go off.
Is that mine?
No, that's across the
It's,
street.
it's over there.
Across the back alley.
Yeah, it's over there.
Is that where your car is?
No.
Hey, we got it.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
Anyways.
Sorry, guys. That was my
Anyways.
Maserati.
Yeah, so they go on a quest to find Kitty Town, which is basically like a shelter, place with like running food, water, and people.
Running food, water, and people.
There we go.
The people are definitely running.
That's
Running
what I was-
food. That sounds
You,
great.
you have to catch your food at Kitty Town. Is basically how they go. And
don't
yeah,
get
so they
into
go on
the
a quest
food,
together, and they experience a lot of challenges. But I won't spoil it all because
Yeah, we don't want to do any spoilers.
they will be playing at a bunch of film festivals though.
Yeah.
So
There
check
was,
out their social medias at Kitty Town. Welcome to Kitty Town.
from everything that I had heard through that interview and through your guys' episode, one of my favorite things about this movie was one of the big ways they saved money as well was the license plate thing they used and how they would name things as far as trying to show death. I'm trying to make sure I'm not spoiling this, but trying to show the deaths of people
Yeah,
in a
driver's
fun
license.
way.
They use
Driver's
driver
yes.
license because, like, obviously on a small budget, you don't have for big
you,
prosthetics
that's
for
what I was
like
getting
like
to make a bunch
bodies.
of big gruesome
Right.
dead bodies.
So
yeah.
you just make a bunch of little driver's licenses, beat them up, put a bit of blood on them, and then people get it.
And then you have your ginger beef and steak Diane and all the other good stuff.
Yeah.
Stew.
You know?
and
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the
Exactly. And that's something we talk about in the episode tomorrow too. Is
Yes.
when you have a lower pool of money it forces you to be more creative, which can be
Exactly.
very beneficial in the long run. Because when you have $50 million or $100 million, there becomes a point where you're just spending more money on more VFX, bigger stars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when you have shorter bits of money, like $30,000, it really lets you delve into more of, okay, what can we make work in the story for a 16th of the cost, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of when you get into creative things like, okay, well, we're not going to show a body. We're going to look at a photo of a driver's license,
Yeah.
and we're going to be like, okay, that person died right there, and this is how we show that, right? And that's one of those examples of how it works, right? It works. Every movie uses just a fake body, right? Or
Everyone.
the majority of any movie. But that's a creative, unique thing to do. And again, it wouldn't have happened if you had all that extra money to throw in prosthetics and stuff like that. Because you'd be like, oh man, imagine how scary it would be if I showed a room and there was like 6 people laying on top of each other dead.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool, that's scary and stuff like that.
That's
but
$1 million.
you've
And it's been done.
worked.
Yeah, right.
It's been
Yeah.
done.
Every single horror
Yeah.
movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is just stuff we talk about where lots of people, especially starting out in the industry, are extremely creative because they don't have access to as much things and they're forced to do that kind of stuff. And I think that's great, and I think it's the best way to learn too.
Yeah, and I say it all the time around here. Anytime you can be different, because everyone always wants to be like this or be like that or be like this person or be like this show. And I've spent my whole career avoiding that garbage because all you're doing is just putting out the same shit over and over with a little bit of a different polish on it. And it's so overdone and so overplayed. Want nothing to do with that shit. That was my rant for the day. Phenom,
Okay, take your meds, Gary.
shall we get some Frankie's fingers rolling as we make our way out of here for the Monday? Great job, guys. Is that fun? You have some
Yeah,
fun
it was
on
good.
that?
It's good.
You guys want to play piano?
No.
You're such a strong man. I love that about him. Rather be building my canoe, actually, but that's just me.
If you don't start playing the piano, I'm not doing the episode today. And,
This is really
and
good.
your dad came out here all the way for nothing.
To Phenom on the ones and twos,
Start
thank
playing.
you for always making it such an enjoyable show, my friend. You are fantastic. Hit me up with the camera
Can I
three
get
real quick
up
so we can wave to the people. Phenom, there he is. Thank you.
I was no.
These guys are getting
Not
creative now. Here we
actually
go.
getting on your shoulder.
As well, to Brooksy, thank you, young lady, for kicking off the show. As a new episode of Past Our Bedtime has officially dropped, starring yours truly, talking about video games, which is a lot of fun. To our guests who we're about to meet with, thank you for stopping by and being here on time. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of the live show aspect of this. To my big, beautiful, handsome prince over there, I love you. Thank you for saving me a couple cookies. I appreciate it. Make sure you save at least one for us, Lady in the Tramp after, all right? He always does. I appreciate that. Who else we got here? Well, there's this guy. This guy's here. There you go. To my sweet, sweet prince down on the floor, making out with the dog. Great to see you. We got a full house here. This is fun. This is what I was talking about. When you can get this place really packed, anything can happen. And that's why we go live every day from 4 to 5, because no one else does it. It makes you different. And knowing that anything can happen is such a cool thing.
We're
Right?
gonna need a bigger studio if we want live audience.
Well, we got to work our way up.
Mm.
But we will get there. At least that's the hope. Might have to sell a tattoo gun, but we will get there. We'll be back tomorrow. We got the All Out of Angst podcast boys in the house. That's Uncle Mike and Matt from all the bands, as we'll be doing another episode of that show and then playing it into the live show where they join every Tuesday. As well, we'll be checking with the latest band that will be playing over at 3 Hall with the big 3 Hall Unplugged open mic night going on, and then it goes right into a show. It's going to be a lot of fun, so we'll check in with that band and with Kinger and Saul and the team over there at 3 Hall and at Bloom Entertainment. Very excited for that little bit. And most of all, enjoy your Monday Night Football tonight. Brooksy says it's going to be away team, Jacksonville, Washington. Remember, karma's very real. Do good things, you'll notice it'll start happening to you. I promise you. Have a great day.